Hello, everybody. I'm Peter the Book Lover, and this is Halls of Eight. This is where I talk about the new arrivals, the new books that I've gotten. Let's talk about them. Hello, everybody. I'm Peter the Book Lover. I like to read books, I like to collect books, and I like to talk about books. And these videos is where I talk about 8 of the newest books that I've gotten. These are books that I've just added to my collection, and they're great. And I'm going to enjoy talking about them. But before I get into the books, I want to thank everybody for being here. If you're coming for the first time, welcome to my videos. And if you're coming back, welcome back. I really appreciate everybody that's here. Thank you for coming by. Okay, let's just start this out. Now, the first book that I'm going to talk about is a Mark Twain book. I don't know what year this is from. In these videos, I don't keep track of the year these books are from. But when I do reviews of my books, then I will let you know the years of this. But this is a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court. Now, this is as you see, this is a smaller book. This is like an abridged book. It's got illustrations in it as well. I've read some other books that were of the same type. I've read Black Beauty. There was a very similar book like this, and I really loved this. And they do a really good job with these books. And I love Mark Twain. He's a great author, and I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm not familiar with the story, though. Okay, the next book that I'm going to show you here is something that I had these from when I was a kid. This is by R.A. Montgomery, and this is Prisoner of the Ant People. And as you can see, this is a book from the Choose Your Own Adventure series. And these were pretty cool. These are books to where you could read this several times and come up with a different outcome. And I really loved these as a kid, and I'm looking forward to reading one of these now. It's a really interesting concept of the Choose Your Own Adventure. Prisoner of the Ant People. Looks pretty cool. Okay. The next book that I'm going to talk about is 2 books in one by John Steinbeck. And this is Of Mice and Men and Cannery Row. And the thing about it is I've read Of Mice and Men, and that is a fantastic book. But the reason why I picked this book up wasn't for Of Mice and Men. This is for Cannery Row. And this looks like a pretty interesting story because I like John Steinbeck's books. I mean, some books I like more than others, but I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm very happy that I have this. Okay, the next book that I'm going to talk about that I have here is from John Steinbeck again. This is for Tortilla Flat. And this is a book, I believe this is one of his first novels, if not his first novel. And I am really looking forward to reading this book. Like I said in the last book, is that John Steinbeck books are very good. He is an amazing author. I love East of Eden. That is a fantastic book. And Of Mice and Men is one of my favorites. I really love this author, and I'm looking forward to reading this book. Okay, the next book that I got was written by J.K. Rowling. Now, the thing about it is I already have this book, but I have this book as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. But this one is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And next time I read Harry Potter, I'm probably going to read this book. It's pretty much the same story, I believe, as the Sorcerer's Stone, but this is the first version of this. And I really think this is really cool. I do own a great copy of the Sorcerer's Stone, but I actually got to have the Philosopher's Stone as well. This is a great, fantastic book series, and I actually plan on pretty soon finishing off the series. I've read 4 of them so far. Okay. The next book that I have here is a book that I already own, but this is a hardcover of a book that I absolutely adore. This is by Neil Gaiman, and this is the book Coraline, and this is fantastic. Now, the thing about it is, I was thinking when I got this that I could just take this and get rid of my other copy, but the thing about it is, I love the illustrations in my original copy, so I don't want to get rid of that book. But this one is illustrated by Chris Riddell, and this could be pretty interesting. Although I really adore the illustrations in the first book that I have of Coraline. It's a really beat up copy, but man, this is a great story. I could see why it was such a beat up copy because this is a fantastic story. I love Coraline. This is a great movie and also a fantastic book, and I love having this in hardcover now. Awesome, right? Okay. And here's another upgrade. Now, I don't know if I can pronounce this author's name correctly. Antoni de Saint-Exupéry. I might be butchering that a little bit, but this is The Little Prince. I have a copy, but it's in very bad condition. This book is in beautiful condition, and I had to have it. And then I'm actually going to donate the other copy of that because this is good enough for me. I have read this, and this is a pretty interesting story. This is actually, if you don't know, this is like one of the best-selling books of all time. This was very popular when it came out. And I think this is a great book, and I'm looking forward to reading this beautiful copy. Okay, now the next book that I'm going to talk about is pretty much the Grimm brothers. But one thing that makes this really cool, I have another version of this, Hansel and Gretel. But this is Hansel and Gretel, but this is also in Spanish. So you've got a Spanish version and an English version being told at the same time, which is pretty cool. That way I can work on my Spanish. And I love that because it's like two different versions. And I'm familiar with the story of Hansel and Gretel. It's a pretty cool, interesting story. I remember it when I was a kid, and I still love that story. I know it's a children's story, but it's a pretty cool, interesting children's story, especially when we got this wicked witch that wants to eat one of the children's. And, you know, I love the part where he, like, gives her finger, and he puts a bone in because she's blind, and he gives her a bone, and she thinks it's his finger, and she's like, why isn't he fanning up? Pretty interesting story. I pretty get it. And the whole thing about the parents leaving breadcrumbs, or no, they go in the forest and they leave breadcrumbs, and then the birds eat the breadcrumbs or something like that. I haven't read this in a while, but I plan on reading this and actually practicing my Spanish at the same time. Okay, that's it for these books. I think I myself find them very interesting. If you find them interesting, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate that. Please let me know what you think of the books if you can. I'd love to hear from you. And that's about it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. I would really love you to subscribe to my channel. I'm constantly working on making my content better, so I really am trying my best to make these videos interesting and not too long. So that's about it. I will see you in the next time. I'm Peter the Book Lover, and I hope to see you in the next video.